John continues describing his vision of the throne room of heaven. Well, it's not really a room. It's expansive enough to have a sea of glass. John doesn't describe any walls or ceiling. It's just a throne and a huge area. He says in verse 6, in the center, around the throne, were four living creatures, and they were covered in eyes, in front and in back. These are similar to the four living creatures described in Ezekiel's vision in Ezekiel 1. But there are some major differences too. Revelation is similar to the Old Testament in many places, but it's rarely a direct quote. The first living creature was like a lion. The second was like an ox. The third had a face like a man. And the fourth was like a flying eagle. The Gospel of John soared like an eagle, they said, so the eagle was used to represent John. Luke was like an ox, so he was often depicted with an ox. Even if you couldn't read, you could tell who the picture was supposed to be. Mark was swift like a lion, and Matthew was a human being for some reason. Here's Matthew. Yeah. And there's a man depicted there with him. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with the book of Revelation, but I thought you might find it interesting. Here in Revelation, these four living creatures are unlike anything on earth, and they add to the mystery and the majesty of God's throne. John says each of the four living creatures had 6 wings and was covered with eyes all around, even under the wings. Well, that's hard to imagine, and maybe it represents the idea that they see and know everything that's going on, and it's all under control. We don't know why they have 6 wings or how those wings would be arranged, but perhaps the most important thing is what these creatures are saying. Here we have the words, and we know exactly what they mean. Day and night, they never stop saying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." Now, when we hear the words "and is to come," we may think of Jesus, who indeed is to come. He will come again. But here in Revelation, this is referring not just to Jesus, but to God in all that he is. We can fast forward to chapter 21, where we see that God's dwelling place will be among his people here on earth. He is not just God in the past or God in the present. He will be God with us in the future too. Now, what does it mean to be holy? The Hebrew word originally meant to be separate, to be set apart. But that will not be the case in the future. He will be with us. And here, it's the living creatures who are with God who are declaring him to be holy. There's no separation here. What the word means in context is that he is perfectly good, perfectly praiseworthy, and worthy of all worship. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty.